Good morning, everybody. We are going to proceed with this special meeting of Commissioners Court. We welcome everybody here on this December 18th day, and we always commence with a prayer to be followed by the pledge. So at this time, I am calling our meeting to order and ask that you rise for the invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America and to the Texas flags. Commissioner Chesney?
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Dear Lord, again, we come to you today, 2 days after our lengthy meeting that we had to serve the public, and we appreciate you continuing to bless us, and we ask you to continue to bless Nueces County. We ask you to please, Lord, ask folks to be diligent as we get closer to a vaccine and hopefully closer to some normalcy in this world. We ask you to put in their hearts that we must continue to be safe and diligent and follow the protocols. Lord, we are so grateful for everything that you've done for us. We're so grateful for everything you've given us. We're so grateful as we come into the season of celebrating your Son, Jesus Christ's birth. We ask that you continue to bless us, continue to watch over us, continue to keep us safe, and continue to remind us that we are here to serve you and those that have elected us to be here. In Jesus' name we ask these things and pray. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Gonzalez, would you lead us in the pledge, sir? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Good morning to all. It's 11:07 a.m. for the clerk. Today is Friday, December 18th, 2020. We are in Nueces County Commissioner's Courtroom, which is located on the third floor of Nueces County Courthouse, 901 North Leopard here in Corpus Christi. For the clerk, I do notice that we have Commissioner John Modis participating virtually, and therefore all commissioners and, of course, myself are present, and therefore a quorum has been met. At this time, we'll move to a quick safety briefing. Rebecca, thanks for being here, and it's good to remind everybody about our safety protocols. Please proceed.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, and attendees, and Merry Christmas to all. Our safety briefing for today, December 18th, is being held in the Nueces County Commissioner's Courtroom. And please, all attendees, mind the COVID-19 social distancing. The restrooms are located on the right-hand side of the third floor atrium past the Human Resources Office. There is a fire extinguisher located at the rear of the courtroom, and also 5 additional fire extinguishers located throughout the atrium area. In the event of a cardiac emergency, an AED is located on the right wall next to the Human Resources Office. Participant for today who will be responsible for dialing 911 will be Connie. Participants CPR certified in attendance will be Dale. And remember, anyone can render aid. In the event of evacuation, our egress route will be slowly down the atrium stairs, proceeding out the doors located on the LaPan Street side of the courthouse, and assemble in the parking lot across the street, and it is important to stay together. Should there be a need to shelter in place, depending upon the severity of the shelter in place, the courtroom double doors will be secured and remain secure until given further instructions from the Nueces County Sheriff's Office or other law enforcement agencies. Our guest sanitizer for today is Michael.
There you go.
Our safety topic for the month of December is Christmas activities for your safe and happy holidays. There are 50 activities. I will not go through them all. You can build a snowman or draw a snowman. You can make cookies, sing Christmas songs, and this 50-item list is over here on a table for your convenience. And that is the remainder of our safety.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to race someone. I want to do all 50. Let's have fun. Thank you. Yes. Yes, and Omar second. Okay. So the only rules we want everyone to follow for public comment is just give Michael enough chance to clean the mic in between speakers. That's the only thing we would ask, is you just give him a little bit of an opportunity in between. We're going to begin with public comment. And the very first person that we have signed up is our mayor-elect, Paulette Guajardo. And even though we know who she is, all of the public comment attendees, just state your name for the clerk and an address, if you wouldn't mind. I know she would appreciate it. And welcome.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you very, very much. My name is Paulette Guajardo, and I am your councilwoman at large, but as mentioned, mayor-elect, and I'm very humbled to hold this position. Thank you all. It's very nice to see you. You pardon my voice. I've been talking way.
I'm going to, yes, I'm
remember.
going to understand that.
I remember yours. So today I want to thank, first and foremost, the Commissioners Court for addressing this issue and I know you all know the importance of this. This is an iconic structure for Corpus Christi, for tourism, for the county, for all of it. And that's why I'm here today, to support your efforts today in rebuilding the pier. I've worked for several years with all of you sitting up front there. And I think it goes without saying that the more we do together, the more we accomplish. Lately, Commissioner Chesney and I worked together, Commissioner Gonzalez and I have worked together on different city issues that affect both city and county. And so this is one that is more obviously in your purview, but is extremely important. I'm here representing the city to say that we are very much behind you in whatever it is you decide to do, but hopefully that's rebuilding the pier. I just want to thank you all again, and I really look forward to working very closely together and in unison in 2021.
Thank you. And as you know, for all the public speakers this morning, we're not going to answer back at this point, but in the workshop, there's going to be a lot of great discussion. So we're just, for the purposes of facilitation, we will address all of your comments once our workshop begins. And so our next speaker will be Omar Garcia. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to announce, but come on, Omar, you're number 2.
Good morning, Judge Canales, County Commissioners. I'm Omar Garcia. I am the Chief External Affairs Officer at the Port of Corpus Christi, and I'm here representing Sean Strawbridge, who could not make it today. But I just want to share with you that the Port is very supportive of rebuilding Bob Hall Pier. We understand that Bob Hall Pier is an iconic tourist attraction in Nueces County that has economic impact for many in the county. This year alone, the Port of Corpus Christi has contributed close to $4 million to several nonprofits in this county and our neighboring county in San Patricio County. And we're able to do that because of the water code. Not only because of the water code and our state statute, but the mandate that our Port Commission gives staff to give back to the community. We've been very blessed this year to have a record revenue, record tonnage records at the Port of Corpus Christi, and we understand that there's a need in this community, and that's why through the leadership of Sean Strawbridge, our CEO, and our governing body, the Port Commission, we've been able to give back, and we want to continue to give back. So the Port is in full support of rebuilding the pier, and you will have our financial commitment when that time comes. We will talk to our senior leadership at the Port Commission, and we will come back and work with you, as the mayor-elect said, in unison, to help bring back this pier that is so important, not only to our economic vitality, our quality of life, but to the citizens of Nueces County and the surrounding region. So once again, you do have the support of the Port of Corpus Christi, and thank you for allowing me to come say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Greg Smith. I guess I do have to announce, otherwise you don't know who has to come up. And then I make you say your name again.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you so very much. I'm Greg Smith. I'm here as a lifelong Corpus Christi resident. And Bob Hall Pier is part of our fabric of this community. Since it was originally done in I think 1953, it has provided generations of citizens, Nueces County citizens, and citizens all across this nation, a great place, a vision of what we are. So I can't thank Judge and the Commissioners enough for what you're doing, your recognition of this, doing this workshop really so quickly after the destruction of it. So I just want to say from me, Greg Smith, thank you all so very much for recognizing the importance of this pier and putting together a program, however that may be, to rebuild it and provide recreation and this gym for our society. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Miss Crystal, is it not? Crystal.
Hi there, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking time to listen today. I'm originally from Wisconsin. We moved to Texas 3 years ago to San Antonio, and then we moved to Corpus a year and a half ago. This pier was a determining factor for us. We had an opportunity to either go to South Padre or Corpus for a job offer, major job offer, and when we went to this pier, we were traveling to see all the different locations and the communities. And when we went to this pier, it was one of those things like, this is it. This is where we need to belong. And it was so cool. And Hannah was our first hurricane. And when I saw that the bridge fell apart, it broke my heart because it was such a spot for us. I'm getting a little emotional. But yeah, Bob Hall Pier is extremely iconic to us. It's a staple for us for this location. And it certainly makes a lot of people jealous back home when we send all those selfies. So thank you so much for taking the time to address this, and totally support whatever decision you make. Thank you.
May, even though you're next, Paul Thurman is going to read a statement, and that way you can finish up batting cleanup, as they say. I thought I saw Paul. I'll tell you what, we'll hold. Tyner, do we have anybody online while Commissioners? just a little-
Paul's number should be.
Oh, he's in Zoom, Commissioner. I do see him.
That's also him with the number ending in 234.
Who are you looking for, Jen?
Paul Thurman. He's online. He's on our Zoom.
There he is.
Paul, we're going to unmute you. I understand that you have a statement that you're going to be reading on behalf of Jay Gardner. That is what my public comment sign-in sheet says. Can you confirm? We just need to unmute him. Okay, we can move on and we'll get him unmuted in just a second. Hold on, let's see if that'll work. Hey, Paul?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we sure can, Paul. Thank you. We have you signed up for public comment to read a statement by Mr. Jay Gardner. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Good morning, Judge Canales and Commissioners. This is Jay Gardner at 3922 Sweet Bay Drive, 78418. I would like to recommend that the Commissioners Court and the Nueces County Parks Board get the concession known as Michael Mays back up and running as soon as possible. In addition, I recommend that the Bob Hall Pier be rebuilt by phases if necessary. There is an opportunity to fulfill the requirements of the Gulf Beach observation desks at this location and eventually expand to the current facility to increase revenues. The facility rebuild may be reconfigured to include a second-story deck, an elevator, and redundant access. The facility is important to tourism, employment of the local workforce, and economic development for both the county and the island. The rebuild should be accomplished as soon as funds can be secured, and the material from the old pier could potentially be utilized in the Packery Channel artificial reef. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Paul. Ian Vasey?
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the record, Ian Vasey with the Corpus Christi Regional Economic Development Corporation. We're in support of your efforts here. Thank you for your leadership in moving this forward. You know, when it comes time for recruiting companies and getting them to select a new location for their operations, and they move all over the country, people are now choosing not just where the most cost-effective place is. They're choosing where their employees want to live. And I think one of the things we found with COVID is that people can live where they want and work, in another location remotely. So it's important that we get this the pier rebuilt. It's a critical economic development asset, if you will. And if you look at it when the beaches are full and all those people spending money in our community, and it's not just Michael Mays on there. They've got about 70 jobs, I understand, on the Mays nodding, yes, 70 jobs on the pier. And so we would offer our support and thanks to you for your leadership in moving this forward.
Thank you, sir. Tyner, I thought maybe there was somebody else online.
Stan Hulse was on there.
That's what I thought. Can we call on Stan next?
He was on there.
There he is. He's
There he
coming in. Good morning, Stan. Would you self-identify and give your address for the clerk's purposes, and then we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, Stan Holtz, 14521 Cabana East, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78418. Thank you for allowing me to speak during public comment. I don't need to say what an icon Bob Hall Pier is and has been for decades on Padre Island and all of Corpus Christi. I'm sure that'll be echoed from a lot of other folks that are giving their commentary. I'm coming from a different perspective. I'm the executive director of the Padre Island Business Association. And one of our charges is to increase our economic base on Padre Island. And of course, one of the driving factors for that is tourism. I came here, I busted my chops in tourism in a different spot in down south in South Padre Island, where I was involved in marketing for many, many, many years, in which I still own businesses down there. One of the things that I've noticed when I came up here was not only do we have an untapped resource here in Padre Island, but Bob Hall Pier is one of the driving forces for tourism for Corpus Christi and for Padre Island in particular. So, I don't know what the answers are on what the workshop, I'm sure that's what you guys are going to examine. But, from an economic standpoint, from seeing what people talk about in the tourism industry, from South Padre all the way up to Galveston, Bob Hall Pier is definitely something that we need, especially a concierge like Michael Mays. Having a beach on the bar is an asset that we can't afford to lose. And again, I'm sure I'm echoing a lot, but I just wanted to put that statement forward and on the record as well from Padre Island. Thank you.
Thank you. Tyner, I saw that you gave everybody an opportunity. Did you see any others that need to make public comment? Because I want to be respectful of I just love seeing so many people online.
Yeah, Judge, we have 23 participants.
So great.
And I think Connie asked them once to
Okay.
raise their hand, but.
All right.
Oh, here's one, I think.
No, that was just a comment from Sean.
Okay.
Okay, great. So then we will, I've got May Nardone as our last public comment.
Oh, I'll be the last.
Yes, you'll be the last one. Unless there's anybody out in the hallway. Yes, sir, come on in. And what we'll do is Tyner, he just needs to sign up. But please proceed, sir. You're okay. You can sign up afterwards. Just identify yourself for the record.
Okay. My name is James Lester.
Hi.
I'm the general manager of Michael Mays, actually.
Great.
Good morning to everyone, and thank you for allowing me to speak here. I just wanted to say we really need to rebuild the pier. We have a lot of people that work for us, like they were mentioning earlier, almost 70 jobs. A lot of these people are, kids that are starting for their first time, getting their first time job with any place. And they come, they work for us, they get used to the workforce. Excuse me, sorry. Even myself, when I first moved here, I was a guy, I was in a rough time. I'm a single dad, lived on the beach for about 3 months. May gave me a job there. I worked my way up from being a bus boy to being the general manager. And that meant a lot to me. And it means a lot to other people as well. So we ask, please rebuild. Thank you.
Thank you. I do too, so you're in good company. Is there anyone else, Tyner, in the hallway? Deputy, anybody? Okay, I thought I saw John Breyer, that's why. Okay, no worries. So, May Nardone, you are the last speaker, and because I know you're speaking for a lot of people that you represent, we're going to waive the 3-minute and go to the 6-minute because I know that your comments are representative of not only your voice, but of all your employees that couldn't be here in the courtroom due to our COVID-19 protocols.
Thank you, Judge.
Absolutely.
Take this off. My glasses fog up, so it's easier if I take this off. Good morning, Judge Canales and County Commissioners. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today and participate in this very important workshop. As you know, I am the owner of Michael Mays Beachside Bar and Grill and concessionaire on Bob Hall Pier for the past 7 years. Today gives me an opportunity to participate in discussions on whether to renovate or to rebuild Bob Hall Pier. This decision directly impacts me and my business financially, as well as the future of the 70 employees who are eager to return to their jobs at Michael Mays. It also gives me the opportunity to use my experience as a successful concessionaire, along with my general manager, Stephen Lester, who knows the pier, the buildings, and its visitors all too well. So please feel free to ask me any questions during today's workshop that may pertain to knowledge we may possess, or to help you with any findings and conclusions you may have. I understand from the agenda on Wednesday that Judge Canales is putting together a committee to work on the rebuilding of Bob Hall Pier. I asked for the opportunity to serve on that important committee and to offer my experience and knowledge as the existing concessionaire. My recommendation moving forward is to rebuild rather than renovate the pier and the buildings on Bob Hall Pier. To rebuild one bigger, better building for the restaurant rather than 2 separate buildings we currently have. One stronger, more wind-resistant, weatherproofed building designed to accommodate a thriving restaurant and the thousands of locals and visitors that we serve each year. I am eager to participate in the planning phase of that rebuild and have a new and improved state-of-the-art destination spot that we can all be proud of in our beautiful city by the sea. As a current insurance agent for almost 20 years, I've had the opportunity to work not only on my current insurance claims with both windstorm and flood on the pier, but with my clients on their homes and businesses as well. In insurance, once a certain percentage is damaged on a building, it is considered a total loss and the building is rebuilt. This may happen for a couple of reasons. The existing structure doesn't meet the new windstorm or building code requirements for new construction, and/or many times there are things that are missed and it ends up costing more to try to restore than to completely rebuild a new one. 2020 has been a tough year for all of us, first with a tragic pandemic and when Hurricane Hannah destroyed our beloved Bob Hall Pier on July 25th. But together we can turn this year around and bring something good out of the destruction we have endured. What an opportunity to build something better, beautiful, and more profitable, something we can all be proud of and will leave a lasting legacy for the future of our great city county. We've all heard the saying, leave it better than you found it. I do that every time I walk on our beautiful beaches and would love to be a part of that now with Bob Hall Pier. In addition to a rebuild, I would like to ask the court to consider doing a 2-part completion phase with the restaurant buildings and parking lot to be completed first, so we can reopen as soon as possible. I know if we can get it done in a 2-part phase, my chances of getting open as soon as possibly the summer of 2022 could possibly become a reality. Keeping fingers crossed. The completion of the restaurant shouldn't slow down the completion of Bob Hall Pier, and we at Michael Mays can go back to business as usual, generating much-needed income for the county, my employees, and myself. One thing I'm not clear on is the almost $13 million to demo and rebuild, if it includes the cost of my buildings for rebuilding or not, and how much of that amount is it going to cost for just my buildings. For several days leading up to Hurricane Hannah, during Hannah, and following Hannah, millions were glued to their television watching the hurricane unfold on national TV. I was even interviewed on the Weather Channel that fateful day and several other TV stations following. Bob Hall Pier and Michael Mays was the constant backdrop on every newscast. Friends from around the world were watching in disbelief as it was announced that the end of Bob Hall Pier had washed away. This moment in time will forever be etched in so many of our minds. Everyone is on our side and eagerly waiting for us to come back bigger and better. Even Santa Monica Pier in California was talking about us. All are waiting to see what we will do. Here is our opportunity to be bigger and better than before on your watch. Many from around the world have reached out to me for support and how to help financially with donations and fundraising events. I had put together, I had sent Connie a little, I don't know if she was able to get it up there, but there were several Facebook comments. Guess you can put it on if you, I don't know. Did I? Yes, the PowerPoint. Sorry. But on there, I had put several people that have reached out to us, and we always get all kinds of nice little messages on our Facebook page, and how can we help? How can we donate? Is there a relief going on? What donations can we make? So these were just a few that we had up there. Was that page there? I just put a few snippets of the very sweet, kind little mentions that they put on there. Many are saying, we hope you reopen soon. We're praying for you. That's our favorite place. That's where we made memories. This is where this happened. It's just so heartfelt, and it's just I can't even explain the feelings that I get when I read these wonderful notes from people around the world. Many from around the world have reached out to me for support and how they can help financially with donations and fundraising events. Here, also the local Texas Restaurant Association chapter wants to do a huge benefit. Several bands have reached out to me that want to do music benefits once COVID is no longer a threat, and locals want to do fundraisers. I'm sure between each of these donations, grants, and even low-interest bonds that would be available to the county, together we can make this rebuild happen. Now I have some very, the last page, Connie, there's the crazy little rough draft. I kind of put together, if I were to have my dream of what I could have back if we were to do it. This is just a very rough estimate. Yes, ma'am, that's it, Connie. It's open, it would be enclosed, but basically I'm going to kind of explain where this is coming at, but it would be a completely covered second level, have the restaurant down below, same square footage we've had, but instead of having two buildings, doing one building that's better, stronger, reinforced with concrete walls. These are ICF walls that I actually used on my own home because they are usually the only building standing after a hurricane. So I'm going to just move on from there, but there's different pictures. Connie, you can go through them if you want. It's okay. So again, this is just kind of an idea, so you kind of get where my ideas are. I'm not sure if it would be simple to add an existing building or add to the existing building that's still good on Bob Hall Pier, but I'd like to see what the difference would be if we did do a complete rebuild versus adding two. I feel that the bigger building with the extra seating capacity will pay for itself in less than 5 years. I've been doing the projections and the math on what that revenue would generate, and that would generate an extra $500,000 to the county in rents by the percentage. And I do understand, as you know, that I am under contract right now for another 3 years, but my contract will be up and we will be renegotiating, and I'll have a better idea of what we're doing and what would be fair so that we could see how it can increase for the county, especially moving forward if we have something bigger and grander. The bigger building helps accommodate all of our guests during the busier spring break and summer months. Also, our restaurant doesn't have enough space for guests to use our facility for private functions such as weddings, fundraisers, and private parties. Our current roll-up doors don't always work and take forever for parts to come in from China. In the hot and cold months, it's tough to maintain a comfortable temperature when winds are extremely high. We have to shut the doors down to keep food from blowing off the tables. So with this new design, it encloses our dining room with beautiful window views and offers a separate rooftop dining area with extra seating to enjoy that outdoor experience everyone loves at Michael Mays. Plus, it now gives us a separate area to be utilized for those private functions that many want to enjoy overlooking our beautiful beaches. And again, we have people always addressing us to do that. We just don't have the room, or we'd have to shut down the whole restaurant. And I never really wanted to do that because when we were an observation deck, I didn't ever want to turn anybody away, and it would be kind of hard to do that with private events. The added seating doubles our capacity for at least 9 months out of the year, which will increase revenue tremendously to the county. My income projections estimate that this increased revenue will pay back expenses for our new and improved pier and restaurant in 10 years. I'm very proud of the success at Michael Mays. It was always my goal to become a tourist destination where our guests and families could spend cherished time together and make lifelong memories. Whether you're a local needing to recharge, as you saw earlier with Miss Knott, or a family on vacation, the thrill of seeking bird enthusiasts or the turtle hatchers that you see all over the island. You see the avid fisherman that I know, shark fisherman that drives Scott Cross crazy on the pier, or the surfer that's just looking for the next big wave. They all come to Michael Mays and Bob Hall Pier. We are the place where they come to kick up their feet, grab a bite to eat, and enjoy their favorite drinks. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to make us even better, where all are welcome. I want to again thank each and every one of you for your leadership and your service. To all of those who have come in support of Bob Hall Pier and Michael Mays, I'm available for any questions, and I look forward to working with you on making our pier a better destination for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our public comment. And now,
One more.
oh, I'm sorry, we do. Okay.
I believe it's Michael Hine.
Yes.
Hello?
I think, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, good. I appreciate you letting me speak. First off, I just want to say I'm just a resident here in Corpus Christi. I've been for a long time. Bob Hall Pier has been one of the main places we go to visit every year, especially during the summer. And I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to the outcome, to the new one that's coming. Like I said, it's very important to my family and a lot of people down here in Corpus Christi. So kudos to y'all. I'm happy it's gonna be the, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to stay here, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be another place again, you know?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, sir.
Judge, at this point, do you want to give one final last call?
Yes.
Okay, one final last call for public comment.
You just
Shark
spoke.
bait?
Did the person with the name Shark Bait want to speak? Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, that was actually the name of one of my.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, my name's Luana Salvaggio, and I go by the name of Sharkbait because I'm a surfer, and I surf all over the world, and I got bit by a shark in Australia.
Oh my God.
But the reason I wanted to speak is because I always get the, well, where do you surf in Texas? Where do you surf in Texas? And I'm like, you have to hit North Padre. There's Bob Hall Pier. There's Michael Mays. We've got great surfing in Texas. And now I'm part of the Surfers for Autism and Surfers for Healing, which we go to San Diego and stuff because I have a son that's autistic. And so we help the autistic kids surf. And we are in communication with them to bring them to Texas because there's nothing like that here in Texas. So I live in San Antonio. I'm North Park, and I go to Michael Mays. First thing I hit, and the first thing I hit is Bob Hall Pier. So of course, not being there, it's been a very saddening thing to me, and COVID and everything that hits. So I always just broaden the fact that Texas does have surfers. we do exist. And all of us do commune at Michael Mays, and that's always where we go. And so rebuilding, it's such a need. And I speak for the surfing community alone, but also for my son that's learning to surf, which is autistic. And because, North Padre is a centralized area, and we're bringing the people from the Valley, from Houston, from Dallas, everybody out there. Even though Houston has their beaches, they still come here. And then I'm also part of the Jeep community, which we have tremendous events that come over here, and we all hit Michael Mays. So thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate you listening. I just wanted to, say how important it and what a difference, and just the fact that so many people need to know that Texas has a lot to offer, and especially the beaches. And so thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
Tyner, I need to, I know this is going to sound strange, but we need to take a quick recess just for one moment to consult with the county attorney on something that she's brought up to my attention. It's nothing for anybody to worry about. It's just a protocol matter, but I cannot do it while I'm listening to people trying to govern and get this done. It will take literally 2 minutes or so. Just be patient with me if you're online. But for the purposes of the court clerk, I'm off the record at 11:42, and I'd ask the mics to be please turned off. And give me just one moment. Tyner, I need to. So we're back on the record. I'm thankful for the very quick recess in order to make sure that we could have the presentations in to the court. Workshop is a very particular type of assembly, and so I want to make sure that we can have presentations, and we can. And so that's what's going to happen next. We are going to have a presentation by Jacobs Engineering and Sydney Fass, and we're looking forward to that. And Tyner, I think that we've just triple checked, we've received all public comment, and I'd like to move us into the part of the workshop where the commissioners get to receive these presentations from their contractors, and then we can talk amongst ourselves, commissioners, about what's going on. 11:47 a.m. Thank you. You ready?
Yeah, she can't get back in. I had to kick her out so she wouldn't be in the meeting talking to y'all. The only way to do that was to kick her from the meeting.
Okay, we're trying to get Laura Jimenez back in.
We're going to wait for the county
back in the
attorney
Zoom.
to come back into the Zoom.
Always gonna
She
wait
may
for
not
that.
be able to make it because I had to kick her out.
Uh-huh.
Because when she dialed in to talk to y'all, she was still in the Zoom meeting, so she was broadcasting in here as well. And the only way to stop that was to kick her from the meeting.
Okay, well, we'll touch base with her. We'll hold for more Christmas cheer, holiday cheer.
Back to the music.
Yeah, so Laura, so for those listening, so Laura Jimenez, our county attorney, we're waiting for her to join in again. It'll just take a moment.
But the 2 minutes was your 2 minutes.
I did well. I made it.
Great praise from Brent.
Do what?
So that's great praise.
It's great.
You better.
I want to, Connie, you'll give me the signal while Laura's on. I want to direct everybody's attention to the back of the courtroom. It's pretty fitting that this is the year that we decided to beautify the courtroom. And of course, that gorgeous picture by Lisa Torres is of Bob Hall Pier, right? I love the way the water is portrayed there. It's a certain filter she's used, but it is the way that the light and the photographer saw Bob Hall on that morning. And I just think that when we're talking about something this important, and I have to tell you, we have had quite a few meetings in the last 2 years since I got here. A lot of regular meetings, a lot of specials, a lot of hearings. I don't think we've ever had the public comment on our tax rate that we've had this morning for this particular event, and that says something, right? It should mean something to us, and so. Nothing yet. Tyner, one thing she could do is, until she can get on Zoom, if you'll just get her on your phone and she can listen in, that will help us.
But I think she's getting on with her phone.
Never mind. Okay. Just be a little patient. Technology.
I sent her the link again.
So did I.
Oh, okay.
Let's all send her the link, please.
One of them will work.
I enjoyed the name Shark Bait. When we had all the kids on the summertime, we would give them names, and Trevor's was Shark Bait.
There you go. You see her yell.
And he's a good surfer.
I feel bad we kicked all those people off that were listening too. That's a bummer. Oh, well.
Oh,
Hopefully
wait a second. They got kicked off too?
I guess, right?
Who?
Did everybody get kicked off?
No,
Oh,
I stopped the video and I stopped the audio, so
Thank
nobody
you.
got booted except for Laura, because when she tried to dial in with you guys, she was still connected to the meeting and she was
Appreciate
broadcasting.
that, Connie.
Good. Okay, hopefully
Appreciate
people are
that.
still on.
You know, Scott about had a heart attack back there trying to get her muted.
Well, I heard it, and I thought, whoa, 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 whoa.
Scott, you're a good man.
I'm gonna send her the phone number too.
Okay. Did Commissioner Modis, are you still on? Commissioner Modis?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. I mean, we have a quorum, but I want to make sure. Commissioner Gonzalez had a commitment, but he said he would be back. Is that not correct, Commissioner Chesney?
Yes.
Okay.
There's Commissioner Modis right there. Oh,
Okay,
it's not
great.
showing up on the screen.
You know, I wondered, but I did inquire, and I believe Scott did the PBS documentary film crew, they went out and filmed with you on the island, did they not? Or were you on Packery?
We're just mainly
On Packery, okay.
we didn't get a chance to get to the Clayburg property, but I
Yeah.
did give them
I don't know.
Okay.
the PowerPoint that I did for
But
the
it's
hack
part
project.
is when
Okay.
you boot somebody, they're not admitted back in again. And there was nothing I could do to keep her from broadcasting in here without booting her. I kept muting her, but she kept unmuting.
I'll tell you what, there's something I wanted to do at the end of today that does not require a county attorney's presence. It will give you at least a few minutes to figure this out, but it will at least allow me the opportunity. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe my friend to the left believes that as well. And so therefore, I take the privilege and the liberty to do something I was going to do later in the day, but since we need to pause, would you indulge me to be able to do it?
Absolutely.
So I mentioned Bob Hall. So I'm going to put my mask on, and for the cameraman, I'm going to you don't have to move, but I'm going to come right around you. Don't fret. And although I don't have a microphone,
There's that hand. There you go.
I gotcha. I was not able to actually facilitate the actual item in time for today's court. But nevertheless, I wanted to be able to share with our audience today and with my fellow commissioners just how important these photographs are to me personally. And I would not have this opportunity to have these photographs here to beautify this courtroom that I have the privilege to preside over if it were not for my colleague, my friend, and quite frankly, a champion of Nueces County, Commissioner Carolyn Vaughn. And so it is with great honor and privilege that I bring to the courtroom the official plaque that reads, "Photography by Lisa Torres, donated by Judge Barbara Canales and Commissioner Carolyn Vaughn." And I'm going to let Carolyn, because only she can decorate beautifully around here, but I was thinking that it should be prominently displayed right as you walk in our courtroom, right here. And this is an example of how the plaque will look, and December 16th, 2020. And these were photographs that were chosen by Commissioner Vaughn to represent Nueces County, for them to be here for as long as we can have them, and we'd probably hope to add to them. But today is her last court with us here for our year. And I just want to say publicly, I'll leave this here, and then Michael can take it, and when the new one comes, we're going to have you actually back. But I wanted you to see what it's going to look like. And then I'll come back and take the podium. But let me just come around here. I just want to say that doing the court's business in 2020 has been more than challenging, and working together is the only thing that's made it palatable. And so it is bittersweet to wish her well in her next endeavor, but really the truth is that she's not going too far, because I expect full reports from the NCDC as often as she'd like to give them. And the truth is, whether it's this project, whether it's the right-of-way in the courthouse, whether it's North Beach or Barisi Village, or expansions, of subdivisions in the Calallen area, I know that if it's a good project, Carolyn Vaughn will be right there behind it. And so I just want to say how much I personally am going to miss you. And we did ask all the guys, do you want to make this place beautiful? And they're like, And the truth is that it's been an amazing 2 years for me to be able to govern with you. And this is not a goodbye at all. It's just my way of saying how much we appreciate you and how much you will be missed. So, absolutely. And I'm going to give this back.
I wasn't sure that.
And you can still contribute. You can put the next ones up.
No, I don't remember. Well, first of all, I don't remember getting asked about that, but that's okay. But second of all, I didn't know. I'm not sure that this really is the last meeting, because I think we ought to do 2 or 3 more just for Carolyn's sake. I mean, let's get our money's worth before the end of the year.
Yeah.
We should have 2 or 3 more, because I know how much she loves coming to meetings, and she's going to miss us. But in all sincerity, if we're doing it now, and I think that's great. Carolyn, I've expressed my personal feelings as far as, why I think she should have never left here, and how much I'm going to miss her, and I'll do that publicly as I've done that privately. I think she's had more effect here than she will probably ever know. It will take years for that to unfold, as she will see projects that she started come to fruition, and we're going to continue to work on those projects and finish those projects for you, and just the things that you've done while you've been here. So I think it's a huge loss, and I mean that, and with no disrespect to the incoming commissioner, I think he'll do a great job too. But it's a huge loss to not have you as an elected official in public service. I know you won't be far as public service goes. It's been great to develop a friendship with you. I always liked you when you were on the council, but didn't know you in the same vein. We always had some conversations. But when you work with someone in this capacity for a lengthy period of time, it becomes kind of like a work family, and you have hiccups with your work family, and but that's life, and it's never personal. But you always walk away feeling like, look, you put it out there, I put it out there, Barbara puts it out there, we all put it out there all the time for our constituents, and so the passion that we all have gives you a bond that people will never really fully understand until they get that opportunity to do that. So the bond that I have with people that I have served with in capacity is important to me and will be forever. And certainly there's not going to be anyone that's more important than the one I have with you. I appreciate everything you've done. I sincerely mean that. I don't say things that I don't mean. I don't imply things. I just say them. I really try to do that. And you've been a great asset for Precinct 1 and for the whole county, because really and truly, I represent Precinct 4, but I know I have to work harder for Precinct 4, and I do, and you have to work harder for Precinct 1, but I know you feel the same way. It's not about our precincts. It's about doing what's right for the county, and it's been an honor to serve with you, and it's been an honor to get to know you. I will always consider you my friend, even if you don't consider me one, but I'm just kidding. I will still consider you one, and I will always think very highly of you, and I appreciate your service to this community and this county, and this may not be the last meeting. We may get to do this again.
Yeah, you've kind of given us the jinx on that one.
Well, you never know, right? It's only the 18th or whatever day it is. We've got 12 more days of the year, but seriously, thank you, and you've just been a phenomenal part of this court.
Thank you. Well, I'm not good at this. Judge, I'm so glad that you're going to do that. Thank you for doing that. It's a great idea. When I went into politics in 2014, I'm not a politician, said I would never be, and I'm not. And I promised myself a few things, and one of them was that I wouldn't become a politician, that I would never tell citizens something that I didn't believe to get a vote, and that I would always be transparent to them and honest and do the very best I could. and most of all, be true to myself. And I think I've done that, and true to God, and always follow His lead. And that's what I've done. I don't know the reasons, but I'm okay with whatever they are. I have so enjoyed serving on this Commissioners Court, especially the last 2 years. Brent, you'll always be my friend. I've really got to know you, and you've always been so supportive. And I care about all the precincts. The judge has become a true friend, and I'm so glad she's here. She's moved so many things forward with this court, and I'm so glad I was a part of it. I mean, the things that we've done over 2 years is amazing to me, and can't wait to see what you guys do together. And in the coming years, I've enjoyed working with everybody here, and I will miss it. I will, but I'm still gonna stay involved. I mean, God has a plan, don't know what it is, but when He gets ready, He'll give it to me. But so enjoyed all of you, and thank you for your support. And Brent, y'all just behave yourselves. Be nice.
She can come back to public comment. Remember
That's
that.
right. We're going to be watching you. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Laura looks like she's on. That was very well done, Judge, and I think
Thank
you
you.
got her back on.
She joined by
Thank you.
telephone. Hope it works okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. We'll proceed now that we have our counsel in the House and ask Tyner to kind of pave the way and set the stage. I think we have a presentation for this workshop that will help us address our needs. Let me just set the table a little bit. After speaking to Commissioner Chesney, this was really our concept together. It wasn't, I really want to say that. And so why did we want to do this workshop? What are we really going to talk about, and what is there an action item on? So I think that's really important to note that we had in last court's agenda an RFP authorized by this court for marine debris removal. Just to remind everybody, there was a section of that T of Bob Hall Pier that fell into the water. That is there, you know, that is about 160 linear feet, Sydney? About in the water, down below. We don't know if everything is there or not, but the RFP will solicit a company to remove all of that debris, whatever is there, okay? However, 2 courts ago, we had Jacobs Engineering, who was hired by this court, and they were on site within 24 hours. In fact, the surge was still there. Remember, Scott? And Jacobs was on site. Now, why was Jacobs Engineering on site? Because they had already conducted the underwater inspection, and 2 weeks before Hurricane Hannah had delivered to me and this court a report of that underwater inspection analysis. So they have a baseline and a unique experience like no other. So we hired Jacobs Engineering on an emergency basis in order to understand what we were looking at structurally. What for? Because the state of Texas requires a disaster statement, basically evaluation as to what your needs are and what has been damaged after a storm like this. And again, what for? So that if a threshold of $38 million is met by the state of Texas, FEMA, public assistance, would be triggered. And a cost share of 75%, 25%, 75 fed, 25% local would be enacted. This is what happened under Harvey. Now, where we are today is that we have not met that threshold according to FEMA at this point. That's their perspective. I need this court and this audience to understand that we believe in Nueces County that we have accurate damage assessments of over $35 million between the city of Corpus Christi, the port of Corpus Christi, and Nueces County. So we are advocating still for FEMA public assistance to be triggered based upon the overall state's threshold having been met. It appears that we will have an opportunity to appeal if we are formally denied. We have not been formally denied yet, but we have been given a lot of signals that this threshold has not been met. And they are therefore, the reports that Jacobs Engineering has submitted as to the cost estimates are real estimates, but it doesn't indicate that we've authorized any work. So why are we here? Well, we want to hear once more what our options are, because in our last two courts, Jacobs Engineering presented an option for us. Option one is take down the pier in its entirety, and rebuild, or that's our decision. And then option two is use, I would say, a portion of this pier to rebuild. In both cases, we're rebuilding from an engineering's perspective. It's for this court to decide to take action, to find a funding source or sources, and also to initiate design concepts, and this is the big one, to make sure that our public has input. I hope that at the end of this workshop, Commissioner Chesney, we can accomplish almost all of those goals, if not all of them. And so we have had time already to spend with the presentation that was given us, I guess, as I said, probably 3 weeks back. And we are very lucky today to have an additional presentation by Jacobs Engineering, and I'm ready for them to proceed. Commissioner Chesney, what else can we say, just so that the public understands what they're about to see and what the relevance is? Can you help me fill the gaps?
Judge, I think you've said it very well. What I want to add is, I think it's important, very important for the public to understand why this has taken the time that it's taken, because, and we've said it before, but a lot of times people don't hear it unless you say it 3 or 4 times because they're busy and things just kind of slip by. The real important part of why we've taken this time is because we want to do everything we can to ensure that if we get some FEMA assistance, that we have checked every box with them, that we have gone through and done things to show our proof, if you will, that we need their assistance. My hope is that they will come to see the light on this and understand that we have met the threshold. And quite honestly, as I've said before, I don't even understand why you would need a threshold. If there's damage, there's damage. And you either, why is there a threshold to begin with? They're supposed to be there to help you in times of need. And this is a natural disaster, and these are times of need. Now, that doesn't mean that the county shouldn't participate and have some involvement financially in that. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be out looking for partners in regards to doing what we're going to do, which we will. I've had, good conversations, as I'm sure the judge has, with the port, who I think will be helpful and be willing to potentially step up in some capacity. I'm not committing for them. I just believe that they are willing to do so. I think there are other entities out there that are willing to do so. But it's really important for me to make sure that this community knows that there has not been any grass growing under our feet on this. The judge and I have had many conversations. We've had she's had other conversations with people. I've had other conversations with people. We've coordinated our efforts, and I will say, and I have no problem, because Carolyn says I'm not a politician. I don't ever be a politician. I have no problem with ever saying to someone when I am in agreement or disagreement. And I want to say that the judge and I have been clearly in lockstep on this, I believe 100%, because we have had the opportunity to meet, we've had the opportunity to talk. We are committed. We can't have that opportunity legally to talk to other members of the court, because that's a violation of the Texas Opens Meetings Act. And so that's why we haven't. So the court is getting a lot of this information now, because we can't legally talk to anybody but one other person on the court. And so I believe, in conversations that I've heard publicly, not privately, but publicly, that this court will also, in some capacity, and that's what we're here to do today, be committed to this too, based on what I've heard publicly from other members of this court, of which I greatly appreciate. But I will tell you that I am extremely appreciative of the judge's work on this. We have, like I said, we're not always lockstep. We're not always going to be lockstep. But I will tell you, when I leave this court, I'll be darned if I'm not going to be friends with somebody on this court, just because we don't agree on political issues. But we are in lockstep on this. We are committed, and I say we, only the judge and I right now, and I believe this court will also. We are committed to making this right. We are committed to making sure that this pier, in some capacity, gets reestablished. We know how important it is. I think equally, the judge and I are committed to making sure that Michael May's facility is also rebuilt, because that is not only an economic driver, it makes money for this county. It's an economic driver for this county, but it's also a destination. It's important to this community because people like to go there. They just enjoy that venue. And that concession stand part of the building, I will tell you going in, that to me needs to be redone, period. The pier needs to be redone in some capacity. And we've got to figure out a way to do it. Not going to be easy, but we've got to figure out a way to do it because whoever said it earlier, it is. It's an iconic part of this community. So, but again, there has not been any grass growing under feet here. We have worked since the day of that storm. And I was out there, I didn't get to go the day of, but I went out the day after. The judge is out there the day of. And we have absolutely been in lockstep working together on this, and we will continue to do that. This is very important, and it's important, and I'm going to say it 10 more times before the day's over maybe. We are committed. We have worked our butts off on this, but I will tell you, when a multi-million-dollar pier it gets knocked down like this, you can't just do it in 15 minutes. I wish we could. I wish there was a magical wand that we could say, okay, it was already done, poof, we're out to construction. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but I will tell you, there's been no delay on this by this county. There's been no delay by the coastal parks. There's been no delay by the county judge. There's been no delay from my office. We have all been working as hard as we can. So again, that's long-winded, I get it, but I just want people to understand it. I may say it a few more times before we're done. We are committed to getting this pier rebuilt, refurbished in some capacity. My belief is at the end of the day, this court will come to some consensus and we will be able to move forward, because the reason the judge and I felt this meeting was important, we had a huge long meeting on Wednesday. To put this on that agenda we would have been here all night.
Yeah.
But we felt this issue was important enough to pull off and put on its own meeting. So we made Carolyn, and we wanted Carolyn Vaughn to have to work a little harder before she left. I'm kidding, but it was, and I think the judge is right. This was definitely something we sat down and came up with. And in fact, we were in a meeting and we called Tyner and said, okay, Tyner, when can we post it? Well, it's got to be 11 o'clock because we were in a meeting at 10 and we had to give 72 hours notice. So we literally gave the notice pretty much as quickly as we could. Tara walked in, put it on, and we set it. So this is important. We're going to do it. I promise to not, but this is important to me. I try to pick my times when I'm going to talk long, and this is one I'm going to talk on because this pier is important to me. It's important to people in my precinct, and I'll be darned. It's like Scott Cross and I worked on this RV park in Port Aransas, and I said on that project, because that was a nightmare going through all that thing was a nightmare. And I said then, if this is the last project I work on as a county commissioner, then that's so be it. Well, we got through that one, and we got that one done with this court's approval and help and Scott's help. Well, now I'm on to this one. If this is, God forbid, the last project I have to work on as a county commissioner, then so be it. I hope to be around for a long time, but this one will not get done. And I think the ad hoc committee that the judge has proposed and we talked about, and she and I are still visiting some on that. We'll kick that out a little bit more. I don't think we're going to go into detail on that today. But the reason that we're doing this ad hoc committee is because we believe, and I say we, the judge and I believe, this issue is so important.
Yes.
It needs its own group of people dedicated just to that issue. Working with the Coastal Parks Board, we're not going to take anything away from them. We want them to be super, super involved. But we believe that it's so important to get this pier done that it needs its own committee, it needs its own focus, and it needs one issue only to where there's no distraction. But that pier, and it's got to be done quick. And we want a ton of public input. The judge has a great idea. We want to go out and get all the input we want on what people want on this pier. I think May's done a wonderful job putting something out there already. So again, I apologize for being long-winded on this one, but I'm going to talk a lot on this one. So just because it's important to me. So thank you, Judge. I appreciate the time.
I think it's very good. All your comments are well served. So just to be clear, we're going to get probably 2 presentations, one from Jacobs Engineering, and then just to kind of get you queued up, we also have on the line Commissioners Noe Hinojosa, who is our financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you that Noe has a presentation for us here today. I just want you to know that when we talk about funding, we have the good fortune of being able to consult experts to say, how could we come about, procuring the funds for this project? And so Noe's here to also answer any of your questions. Remember, we are in workshop. You can ask any questions you need we can ask of each other, we can discuss, and we can also ask it of our contractors. Now, some of the public comment we can address, but I've been advised that we're not going to be directing questions like, for example, to May. But she's given us so much information, I can say something, that reflects some of her comments, if that makes sense. So those are the rules of engagement today, and I think we should proceed with Sydney and just kind of give us that recap of where we are. And again, you're right, Brent, we haven't just had no grass growing under our feet. We have probably pushed as hard as we could push any engineering company to be as expeditious as possible, but as careful as possible. The work that Sydney and Jacobs have done is so thorough, nobody will be able to question the need to rebuild.
Right.
Sydney.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Sidney Foster, Jacobs Engineering, 5074 Siesta Loop in your great precinct. You do a great job taking care of our roads. I appreciate that. This presentation I made back in December 2nd. We can go through it. Needless to say, the pier is damaged, extensively damaged. We did take we were there actually on site the day after Hurricane Hannah blew through. You met us on the beach. We did started the drone inspection the next day. We did the drone inspection, then we had to do some additional inspections. We actually had to pull up the deck panels to look at the beam ends. It took a while to do that, to review the beam ends, but the outcome was the pier is damaged. It's almost beyond repair. There are some members of the pier that are repairable, but for the most part, they're not repairable.
Yeah.
So, Connie, could you start scrolling through?
And Sydney, go back to that, Connie, real quick, just because we're going to use words that you and I know so easily, but when we talk about the deck panels, do you see the ones that are kind of look like missing teeth? That's a deck panel. And as we go through these, just because I know we've got May and so many other folks that she, has listening in, we just want to point that out. So that's what we removed and
Right.
really got a good look underneath.
Exactly. Because underneath, you can't see the beams underneath. We'll get to that in a little bit. Go ahead, Connie. This is our scope of work. Like I said, we did a thorough inspection. On top of the deck, under the deck, we looked at the beam ends. We prepared a report, came up with recommendations for replacement of the pier. Connie, next one. This was a pre-Hannah photograph. Obviously, the pier's in good condition. Next slide, Connie. After Hannah, the T-head was literally destroyed. There are a lot of missing deck panels. We think there was some racking going on. Commissioner Chesney, you mentioned some of the things that may have happened that are not visible. But last time I talked about, the pier may have racked back and forth. And when it does that, it cracks the beams. When a beam cracks, salt water intrudes into the crack, corrodes the rebar, is beyond repair. So that's what we think happened. Although it's really difficult to prove, but it's kind of logical that it did happen. Good, Connie, next one. Pier cross section, the beams are the eye-shaped beams in the middle of the photograph. Those are TxDOT standard beams. Did wonderfully for 40 years, but they're beyond their lifespan right now. Next. This is the T-head. Extensive damage, literally destroyed. It's laying on the bottom right now. The paw cap was damaged. The piles were in a smaller manner damaged, but the beam is literally destroyed. Next, Connie. This was a picture of a paw cap. The red rectangle in the left-hand corner is a core that we took. In the next slide, Connie. This is a picture of the cores. You can see that the rebars, or the reinforcing steel, is significantly corroded, a lot of rust stains. So once that happens, there's really no way to practically repair the pier. And that happens in a lot of the paw cap ledges and the beams. So, questions? Commissioner Pond, any questions?
No, not yet.
The question I have is, and I think, so when we sort of talk about what's good and what's bad, and this, I love the way May put it earlier from an insurance perspective. Once you get 51% bad, it's all bad.
Right.
But is that really what's happening here? Is that some look better than others, but overall, they look this way?
Overall, the beams are in poor condition.
Got it.
The pile cap ledges are in poor condition. The piles, if you go back a couple of slides, Connie, a couple more, that right there. See the piles, just point to the pile?
Yes.
The piles on the pier are in relatively good condition. The remainder of the pier is relatively poor condition. So there's some salvageable items, but to salvage that and try to rebuild it is very difficult.
Very tough. Got
Yes.
it.
There's 148 concrete beams on the pier. 66 have minor to moderate cracks. 104 beams, pile cap connections are damaged. Of the 44 pile caps, 32 have minor to moderate cracks and damages, and 16 pile caps, minor to moderate cracks. So over half of the beam members, or the pier members, are cracked, damaged, beyond repair. So like you say, 51%, then it's over that threshold of it needs to be rebuilt, not repaired.
Got it.
And also what we also did was a laboratory chloride evaluation. We actually took samples of the concrete and had that tested in the laboratory. And a lot of the beams have essentially zero service life remaining. You know, the corrosion is intruded into the rebar, and the rebar is damaged, so there's just no way to repair the beam. Oh, and the concession stand, really poor condition. The concession stand has vertical concrete masonry unit walls. Inside of that wall, there's a rebar, reinforcing steel. Those have corroded to the point where they're actually cracking the walls of the CMU walls, and is actually expanding over the edges of the foundation such that, and the roof sits on top of the CMU walls. There's no way to repair it without taking the whole thing down. Once you take the whole thing down, you might as well just rebuild to a bigger size. Next slide. We talked about this last time. The high wave was like 22 feet. Next slide. It actually, that blue line is on top of the T-head. Okay, when it crashed on the top of the T-head, it destroyed the T-head. And there's actually a video that Scott has that shows that the wave's building up, and finally this large wave goes over the T-head. When the wave recedes, the T-head is underwater. So extensive damage to the T-head. Next slide. Yeah, next slide. This is complicated. And, you know, the things that are visible, you can see the cracked concrete, damaged concrete, but one thing it did do, we think, was it eroded the seabed. And when it does that, it exposed more of the concrete piles that support the pier. When it does that, the pile capacity is reduced so that it's beyond repair.
So when we rebuild, I'm already thinking
Yeah.
positively. When we rebuild and the seabed is definitely at a different elevation, what do we do to strengthen that?
These are longer piles.
There you go.
Right. Right.
Okay. And that's why, even though some of the piles are in good shape, they're still exposed. There's still a weakness there.
Exactly.
Okay, that I want the audience to understand that. And that comes from that erosion, if you will, of the seabed that was from these surges.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now you say to yourself, well, I mean, if we were to rebuild with longer piles, we are becoming more resilient for these super storms that are affecting us in ways we haven't seen before. For all of us that have been here, only Hurricane Celia makes us shudder. And now we can plan for, sadly, that Hurricane Celia effect.
Right. Yeah, longer piles, higher elevation on the
Higher.
pier to get it above that storm wave, the 100-year storm wave. So there are things we can do that will considerably increase the stability of the pier for the next big storm.
For the next what?
Next big
Sorry.
storm.
Oh,
And, because it's important for people to understand that we live in an area where storms will occur. That doesn't mean we can't have functionality. We just have to build in the more resilient way. And there's things we can do. Remind everybody, this is a building the pier was built in 1983? 82.
Yes, ma'am.
82. And also for the audience, and just to remind everybody, we do not have insurance. That is not out of a lack of negligence. We cannot insure these piers, okay? I want everyone to understand that. There is no insurance because it's not, we wish it to be, but we cannot procure it. Just very important to understand. Okay, please continue.
Next slide, Connie. So options, repair the pier, obviously replace the T-head. And option would be is to put new beams on top of the existing pile caps. Very difficult to do, but it's doable, but it's very difficult. Our preferred option would be to construct a new pier. And to do that, you demolish the existing pier, construct a new pier at higher elevation, minimize storm wave loads, You can actually add batter piles. They're actually on an angle, so to speak, that resists the wave loads coming in. And obviously, when you do that, as you know, the previous speakers talked about, you can add more to the pier. Okay, you can have pavilions, observation decks, a two-story restaurant, all these things that could happen as long as you have the budget to do it.
Because you have the ability to carry the load.
Right, exactly.
It's great.
Next slide, Connie. As far as cost, to replace and repair the pier, about $9 million. To build a new pier altogether, about $13 million, along with about $1.5 million to build a new concession stand. These are estimates at this time. You know, we've not gone through any what-if scenarios about a two-story restaurant or a wider pier,
Sure.
longer pier, whatever. But these are the estimates that basically give you back the pier that it was before.
And Scott's, works for us, so he can always comment in just a moment, but I want to also think about the things that are not included, because we're not asking Jacobs, but for example, the parking lot, right? People have asked us about the parking lot. So we want to talk about an overall project, and we haven't forgotten those things. We're just concentrating on the pier for the moment, but I just want to share this with commissioners. Still have to think about that parking lot. Why? Because ADA is important to us. People with disabilities love the beach, and, or as we like to say, extra abilities, and they need to have access. And so I just want us to not forget that, but it's not here because we're just focusing on that. We know how to build a good parking lot.
No, but I think it's a good point, Judge, because I think we're here, the community needs to understand that. That's a significant cost depending on what we do.
Correct.
And so we don't know exactly what the best route on that is. What we do know, and what the judge and I talked about, is what we do feel like we know, and Sydney, you can disagree with me if you want, and that would be great. Doesn't bother me a bit. But what we do know is putting an asphalt parking lot back there seems like throwing good money after bad, because it's gonna wash away again anytime you get a surge. We can build and fortify the pier either by rebuilding or refortifying to where we think we can probably endure a big storm surge based on the fortification or the rebuild. We don't think, unless I'm wrong, we don't think we can do that with an asphalt parking lot. So to build a concrete parking lot out there on the same footprint is a potential another couple of $1 million which is no small chump change, right? So we have to look at that. And I think we do need to throw that out and talk about that. But because we need the community to understand, when this is all said and done, it could either be a $15 million project with the rebuild or a $19 million. It's not the 9 and the 13. It's more like the 15 and the 19, depending on which one you do, to be fair and to be totally transparent. Now, we could do that parking lot a lot differently, and we're gonna talk about that and talk through that. It's got to be ADA, not a doubt, but you could, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds. You could make people park on sand because they do all the time now, and just build the ADA. But again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds. I just want to say that could be anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million extra, depending on what you do. So. Right. I do think we need to at least let the public know that we're out there.
I love it. Okay.
I've been a little music. Is that my cue to be quiet?
You're right, Commissioner Chesney. Asphalt parking lot, storm as it is now, it'll wash away. I think, go ahead, Scott.
Yes, Scott. But Scott, would you take a mic, only because it's hard for the folks online to hear?
Give him the handheld one.
We'll give you a handheld. Just separate yourself from Sydney for me.
Okay, I was gonna say on the parking lot, you don't want to reduce your footprint. If you reduce your footprint, you'll never get that footprint back again. What is there has been grandfathered, it's accepted, it's just roughly barely under 120,000 square foot parking lot is what it is.
Okay.
And so you want to keep that because
when you say grandfather, do you mean we've been permitted for it?
Yeah, you'll never, if you eliminate your parking lot footprint at Horse Caldwell or Bob Hall, the GLO will never let you come back and build another one. In other words, if we wanted to go build a new parking lot somewhere that never existed, we'd never get that permitted.
And again, I don't want to get too far in the weeds on that, but if you go like, say, to Horse Caldwell, you don't have the same kind of footprint of a parking lot out there, but you still have people that go there and easily access it. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of how much money do we have, where do we want to spend it, and what the priorities are. So respectfully, I don't know that I'm not worried about not getting the footprint back. I'm worried about, I want Michael Mays open, I want the pier open, and if we can't come up with the other 2 million, well, something's gotta give. And I'm not
Right.
saying that's what's gotta give, I'm just saying that's one of those things that as we move forward, it's a business decision. I mean, it's what this court can tolerate, and I don't know what that is, and to me.
Well, and that's a great segue to Noe Inahosa, who's on. And also, let me just set the stage before Noe takes off to make sure Sydney's covered everything. Sydney, was that the last slide, if I recall?
No, I think there
Got
may
a
be
couple
one
more.
more.
Let's
I
let
had
Sydney
one more
finish.
question for Sydney
Okay.
too.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I've heard you say, which surprised me the last time, that if we rebuild it, that would potentially fortify enough to where that could last another 50 years if we rebuild it, right? Because that
Right.
surprised me. So give me a comparison between rebuild and, repair
Repair
and
versus-
demo and rebuild
Okay.
on the difference in the life. Because, I tell you why, I'm looking at that $4 million difference and I'm thinking, all right, if we demo and rebuild, then you're gonna amortize that, and that's gonna segue into Noe, then you're gonna amortize that over 75 years, because I would think if we demo and rebuild, we're gonna have a lot more life than we would if we just fortify. But that's what I think. I don't know if that's what you think, and I need to know that as we segue into Noe, because to me, if we can amortize something over a longer period of time, and I know you can't buy a bond for 75 years, but if you tell me, hey, look, if we demo and rebuild it with the kind of structure there is today, we get 75 years potentially out of that pier versus 50, that's still 25 more years that I can amortize that 4 million over, or at least try to pitch that to the court. So can you kind of speak to that?
Right.
That
The repairs
was a
would-
long-winded question.
Yes,
sorry.
sir. Good question, though. Repairs would involve putting a new deck on the concrete pier. You take off the deck panels, take out the beams, and build a new deck on top of the existing pile caps, okay? And the piles are in good condition. The interior of the pile caps are in good condition, just that the deck and the beams are in poor condition. So you take that out, build a new deck, probably a solid concrete slab, or you do away with the concrete panels. There's no more deck panels, it's a concrete slab that's as wide as the pier is, and spans from bend to bend, okay? The piles probably have another 50-year design life, okay? To build a new pier completely, it's unlimited. With the concrete technology these days, admixtures and stuff like for the concrete, you could have 75 to 100 years easily.
And that's a big.
That's a big deal. I agree
and
with
that's
you on
why
that one.
And that's why I'm asking this, because that is a huge deal when you're talking about 100-year life versus 50-year life, and I ain't gonna be here for any of them, either of them probably, maybe 50.
We may freeze you.
Maybe 50, you never know, right? But the point is, I mean, is if we've got an engineer telling us that if we demo and rebuild, we're talking potentially unlimited, 7,500 years versus 50 for $4 million difference, to me, that's,
And you know what's great? Joshua will get to see it.
50 years, yeah, 100 probably not, but yeah, 50.
No, but I mean, the point is that ask anybody who's 50 if it didn't go by like that.
What's that country song, and the blink, 100 years goes by quicker
blink
than
of an
you
eye.
think? Yeah, is that Kenny Chesney?
Yeah, I think that's really important. The one thing I was still struggling with, just from an engineering perspective, is I'm just trying to vet everything. If we build that way, how do I get the length of my pier for the seabed?
You reinforce the piles horizontally. The problem right now is
Oh.
the vents are independent. They move independently.
Correct.
With the repair design, you would actually fix those vents with the concrete slab and dial into the pile caps to where it wouldn't move.
Oh,
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ever questioned whether concrete can move, you've never been in a major earthquake before. I was in a terrible earthquake in Mexico City once. And I mean, it's unfathomable, okay, in your brain until you see it. Whole building's moving. It's really crazy because you don't have that horizontal. Okay, that really helps a lot as far as the longevity. Is that what where you were aiming at?
That's exactly where I was aiming at. That's
Yeah.
very helpful to me, and
And
that,
also-
I know you got more slides and I want you to do them, but that I want to make sure Noe hears that, because that's kind of the kind of stuff that, you know, he can really help us with too.
Right. And on the parking lot, you know, I think on the concrete pavement, Commissioner Chesney, you'd probably build walls down, like retaining walls below the ground, and put slope protection going out into the water to where the waves crash on the slope protection. They don't crash underneath the asphalt pavement.
On a cement wall.
On a concrete.
Yeah, not on asphalt.
Asphalt, you can't do that on asphalt.
Because,
Well, you could do, yeah.
to me, it's, and if that's where we're going, to me, it's asphalt's off the table for me. It's gotta be concrete, and so we gotta make a business decision if we wanna do exactly what Scott's saying, and that's what it comes down to, is it's all a business decision.
Well, and we'll let you finish your slides, because this is where it gets important. These are the recommendations from Jacobs.
Okay, some ideas. I mean, there's a lot of different ideas. A young
Sure.
lady that had a presentation on the two-story Michael Mays.
Yes.
Wonderful idea.
She's right here, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great idea. I mean, that's what you start with as an engineer. You start with a picture, and you show it to people and say, okay, what do you like about this picture, and what don't you like about the picture? That's part of the public involvement process, is get some input coming back. You know, everybody's got an idea. Ideas are neither right nor wrong. They're just ideas, okay? So let's hear your ideas. But anyhow, as far as enhancements, you could make the end of the pier a D head versus a T head, which would help deflect waves going around the pier. You could have shade structures, benches on the pier. You could widen the pier in sections where it's wider than the existing deck. You could have shade structures, picnic benches, stuff like that. You could have a plaza. You could have an observation area when you come up the ramp on the pier itself, an observation area, you know, just an idea. And you know, you could also tie the pier back into the Padre Valley Park, because right now it's a sand road. I guess there's a pavement underneath there, Scott, but right now it's sanded over. So you could have some kind of an entrance from the Padre Valley Park into the pier itself. Just some ideas, okay?
Awesome.
Yep. Next slide. New restaurant, concession stands, fishing amenities, erosion-resistant parking lot, and obviously ADA accessible shall be provided. Okay. This gets into the next phase, but kickoff meeting, robust citizen visitors outreach program. We want to have the commission's comments with Scott, engineering department, get comments coming back from you. We can do a public involvement process where here's some ideas that we have. Here's some specific questions we want you to answer, and also what are your general observations, so that we can categorize that. You know, whatever you want, we can, you know, whatever the majority wants, whatever the commission wants, we can come back then and go back to the citizens and say, look, here's our vision. Do you accept it? And then hopefully they accept it. Then you move into the next phase, which is the design phase. Next slide, Connie. And these are just some ideas that our architect came up with, but strictly ideas. Architects dream in colors, engineers dream in black and white, okay? So that's it. That's what I have. Any questions or comments?
Just thank you for your work.
You're welcome.
Your professionalism and throughout this process. You know, when we have these disasters and they're inside other disasters, it feels so awful. And to be able to know that I could rely upon a world-class engineering firm that happens to be in our backyard to say, I need to present the best evidence that's factual to the state of Texas and then to the federal government. It feels amazing. And I get to argue before FEMA, and I have, and I said to them, either you come down here and assess, or you accept this world-class engineering report. Which is it? And I can only do that with a name like Jacobs. And that's just something that this court and this public needs to know. So at every step of the way, we've been diligent, we've been just so fortunate to have this kind of a working environment relationship. I will tell you, based on Harvey experience, and you said it best on Wednesday, Commissioner, it's taken, in some cases, 4 and 5 years to get to the point we're here since July, okay? So we are really, not just being, I think, moving fast and expeditiously, but we're moving in the right way. So I think that we are ready to maybe talk just a little bit. Well, first, let me ask about questions, because we've got Commissioner Maras on. I want to be respectful. Are there any questions before we let Sydney, I would invite you just to sit and listen to the rest of it. Okay. Okay, Commissioner Vaughn.
You said there were some things that weren't included in the parking lot was one of them. Was there anything else?
Just ADA requirements, but we talked about that.
And that's it?
I think that's,
Okay.
I mean, on his list is fishing amenities. I'm not sure what that means. I imagine it's like
That's part
there's
of the
there's an
design
area
of
where
the
you
pier.
go in and you pay and you have some opportunities. Scott, do you want to describe that piece that would be
but that's
extra?
kind of part of the design going forward, right? I mean,
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, yeah, when you go up to the gate, the way it's structured right now, we got a little guard shack, because we manage the pier aspect of that, and, so that's where we operate out of. And as far as the fishing amenities, outside of the general end users who are primary fishermen on the end of the pier, we have a couple of fish cleaning stations. You know, they're made out of that white cutting board stuff that you use, and then they've got hose bibs there, that kind of thing. There's one interesting thing that's not been brought up about the pier, and that is that NOAA weather station out there.
Yes.
And I have not been able to figure out, and as to where we've ever executed an interlocal agreement with NOAA to have that weather station out there, who actually built that weather station, and you know, and why ain't I charging NOAA rent? I mean, they're not giving me any grants.
Okay.
So
That's wonderful. Those are great. Well, like our observation deck over in Horace Caldwell at IB McGee, you know, one of the things that we learned is that if we ask, people will rally behind us. I saw that this morning, commissioners. With the CCREDC, with, you know, Stan, who really takes an active role in the Padre Island Business Association, from, you know, Omar Garcia representing the Port of Corpus Christi. I can only, as they say, imagine how beautiful this will be if we really put our intellect and our engineering prowess behind it, because we've never been able to really do something like this and understand. You're getting a glimpse, right? Can you imagine in 1982 or 3, they built a fishing pier. That's what they built, a fishing pier. Now we get the glimpse of knowing how successful it is to have it as an entertainment venue, as an observation deck for wildlife and habitat observation. We get to see what history teaches us, and then we get to do it right now. And then we have the advantage of modern technology building it to last 100 years. That is a gift. And so I think that what's before us is, as you suggested, a business decision. But not all decisions in the county get a rate of return like this one promises to bring. And that's if Scott, would you please remind everybody the amount of money that pier brings in? Let's first give it in terms of the pier, and then we'll add Michael Mays.
yeah,
Or you can do it together, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
do the net dollars, that's what people want to know about.
net 800,000
Between the two,
between the two.
per year.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one thing a lot of people don't understand. Dale gets it.
No, he just went, oh my goodness. That's a lot of rate of return.
And that's what as is, for, you know, if you take what Michael Mays is gonna do out there, it's gonna be more.
Double.
Let's be conservative and be fair. Right now, today, well, not right now, today, before all this, 800,000 a year net to the county, net, not gross, net.
But this is a very important point, and I've made it over the years, and I think the only person that's really resonated with has been Dale. When we started that operation out there with that pier, and we broke away from Michael Mays and we took on the pier, we initially invested probably about $64,000 to get that going. Ever since that was back in 2012, I think. Ever since that time frame, that pier, our pier operation, has truly not only paid for all its operating costs every year, but then it nets us around in the high $200,000 that goes into our operating account and reduces our dependency on the general fund. So it is truly a true business model functioning inside the confines of county government.
And Scott, because this issue gets raised, and in fairness to people who don't think just identical to us, tell the court about South Padre and how they have used this model in coastal parks to be huge. I mean, we're not doing anything that's not in keeping with what other coastal parks are doing. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. My counterpart, Joey Vega, down in Cameron County, it was him, his county commissioner, Precinct 4, she's still there, I can't remember her name, it's female, and came up along with their, I think it was their public works director, years ago, took a tour of our facilities. I had also gone down there and toured their facilities. And the one thing I noticed is that many of our facilities were in disrepair and alike, as far as, basically years of neglect, no capital improvement monies. Anyhow, they came up here, and within 5 years, what they saw with what we were starting to do, it lit a fire underneath their butt, because boy, they went back down there and they have done some incredible stuff that is huge. They put $30 million into their facilities overall, and that's turned out to be a huge revenue generator for them.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's put them on the map.
It's put them on the map, and they get increased ad valorem as a result, great economic development. We have to be big thinkers, and by the way, that's Commissioner Benavides you're thinking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, in reality, judges, going farther on that, we have spent millions of dollars renovating the RV park in Padre Valley and the RV park in Port Aransas, and we have gotten a return of investment on those parks second to none. When the Port A Park was down, when we got the Padre Valley Park open, the Padre Valley Park covered with the new revenue the loss that we had in Port Aransas.
Yes.
And so we gave back the coastal parks $300,000 allocation that we put thinking we were going to need it because Padre Valley alone. So the return of investment on these projects is huge for the county.
And thank you for
Huge.
saying that. And let's transition, just in the interest of time, because I do want to get to our agenda item, because that's why we're here. But Noe's on the phone, Noe Hinojosa, and he knows a lot about what you just said, Commissioner and Scott. You know why? Because it was their firm that did the financing for those projects. And they personally can attest to how you can change your profile. And of course, then I know that he will have all the details, but it's a real gift to be able to have this kind of insight, that your FA is also the FA of the coastal parks and the county down in Cameron County. So, Noe, without putting you too much on the spot, really what we're looking for is, what are our options that are out there? Let's use the number, by the way, let me see if I can get that.
It's Noe's.
Noe, would you check? Oh, it is. It's you're coming in garbled on the video. You sound like the Budweiser commercial from Frogs. Hold on 1 second, Noe. Let's mute him. Give him a chance, Connie. Noe, what was happening, if you're listening, is that it just completely sounds like white noise. Like a frog white noise. Nope, it's bad.
Wow.
Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna get you back on, maybe. Do you want him to disconnect and try to come back
Try
on?
to rejoin.
Try to rejoin. Try to disconnect completely and try to rejoin. Let me just say to the court that, no, he's gonna come in and comment, but I know that we can comment, because I've had 2 meetings already with Maria Bedia and with our Tidal Basin consultants that are working on CDBG mitigation grants. And we also have Haggerty, a firm who is consulting with us on FEMA assistance for Hurricane Hannah. Make no mistake, commissioners, we're going to be vigorous about grants that are able to supply funds for one thing or all things. Like if there's a grant for fishing amenities, we want it. If there's a grant for ADA, we want it, right? So we may have to piecemeal this, but I just want you to know that our intentions are that this court will have the opportunity to select portions of the Bob Hall Pier rebuild for a March submission. March 28th is our deadline for CDBG mitigation. That's just one opportunity. And it was so pleasant to visit with Chairman Zahn about opportunities that he said, you know, we have Tim Richardson, who helps us as a federal lobbyist on Restore Act. And so Tim is also going to look for opportunities. But the port has a team. You know how we have like a team on state? They have a team on federal. And they can also, you know, help our community by looking for opportunities. Noe, you're back. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly now, sir. We yield to
Great.
you. We're looking
Great.
for ideas. Noe, what a great coincidence that you helped finance South Padre. You've listened in this morning. What comments could you offer the court about options for our financing at this time in our tenure?
Well, one of the things that we've done in Cameron County that our team has done out there is work with Joey Vega, as it was mentioned earlier, his name is the park director down in Cameron County. And we basically made an assessment of what the rates have been at the parks down in Cameron County. The court years back had been selling park system revenue bonds. And then when we realized that the rating agencies were a little bit too stringent on the credit quality of those bonds, the county commissioners court made a policy decision to basically issue COs for the benefit of the parks in order to get a better rating on those bonds of AA credit, and then pass on that benefit to the ratepayer by not having to raise those rates as much. And so they did that in Cameron County. They since, as has been pointed out, I think they've since borrowed over $30 million with the county's credit, and rates have been increased so that those bonds are literally self-supportive. And as has been pointed out, they've been very successful. I've seen a lot of the improvements down there, and now with SpaceX coming down, they have basically an outdoor auditorium out there to see the SpaceX, lift off and things of that nature. So they're very hopeful that things are changing down there for the good, something that could be applied here, for instance. So having heard that on the park side, we've talked, are you hearing me okay?
Oh, perfect. Absolutely
great.
perfect.
So on the other side, we did a CIP financing back in 2019. I understand that the court wants to contemplate something similar, maybe in 21, just like we had discussed with the rating agencies back in 19, that we're going to be selling some bonds sometime in 21. And as you may recall, back in 19, when we borrowed the funds, and I'm sure Dale can help me with this, right now, the way the debt service schedule is for the County of Nueces, I'm going to share the screen with you, see if you can see it. This is basically the County of Nueces bond issues that are currently outstanding. There's about 8 of them listed on the left, right up here, and they add up to about $143 million of current outstanding debt. Of that debt, about $106 million can be called in the future to refinance for purposes of interest rate savings or reducing payments at the expense of those savings in order to make the amortization schedule more reasonable if you so choose to do that. Now, of course, muni bonds, unlike mortgage financings that we do, or that we personally do on a daily basis, the muni bonds have call dates that are more restrictful than your typical mortgage refinancing. So right now, as you have seen, Dale and Tyner and you, Judge, been a lot of Wall Street firms pitching to you opportunities to refinance in lieu of lower interest rates. There's a refinancing right now about $23 million for savings. What we like to do is more, when you look at the graph, you see this graph in the bar in 2020, that requires slightly less than $14 million in payments. But then in 22, those payments go closer to 15 or 16. million a year. In fact, it's more on page 4, the specifics. Right now, the specific payments are in 21, shy of 14, then it goes over 14 million, and then in 23 it goes up to 14,700,000, and it stays there for 3 years. So if we were to have a CIP funding next year, if you were to add new money, and let's say you add 25 million or 30 million, if you're not able to generate revenues off of the projects that you're improving, then it will have an impact on your property tax rate. So if we were to do any new money financings, our objective is not to increase those bars in 22 through 24 so significantly that will may cause some tax rate stress in those years. So if we have a refunding, we would probably come to you with an option of, you know what, let's allocate savings in those years that cause stress and reduce those in order to have a lesser of an impact on the tax rate. So those are kind of things that we will be discussing with you, probably in the first quarter of 2021, once you determine what is it that you need to finance for this upcoming year.
Right, so, as they say in plain South Texas English, we can borrow money, but we can do so by refinancing some of our old debt and take that savings on the refinancing and front load it in these first years, 2022 through 2026, and that will help us alleviate any serious need to raise property taxes to support that borrowing. Is that correct?
Yeah, conceivably, yes.
Right,
I
conceivably,
know
right?
that
I mean, you gotta
they
have the
will
right
tell
amount of
you
money.
They will also share with you that you have a pretty good fund balance in the INS fund. And in the past, we've been contemplating, and actually, I think we've done that, Dale. He can correct me if I'm wrong. I think you've done, from time to time, go into the savings account of the INS fund to offset the impact on tax rate. And we just want to be careful that whatever amount you end up borrowing, whether it's over 20 years or 25 years, I know Commissioner Chesney was mentioned, go with a longer structure. I think the longest structure you can do is probably 30 years in this business.
Yeah.
But I'll stop there and entertain questions you may have.
No, can't you go, I get that you can only go 30 years, and my point was more just to tell the public what kind of payout this would be based
Revenue.
on the 75 to 100 years, because if you, and you can't, and so more, I know, I realize there's a limit, but I mean, obviously you can also extend those bonds, or you can, after the 30 years, you can go and get them again if you want to. And you could, after 5 years, if the rates are still low, you could refinance and get another 30. So you could extend this out for a lengthy period of time if you needed to. Correct? Did I answer that very well? In other words, like
You have some credit issues extending the debt, but you may also have some issues legally. The Attorney General's office in Austin, as you well know, approves all of your bond issuances to ensure that you have complied with all the legal requirements set forth in state statute. And I think you may have some limitations there, but we will address those at the next meeting.
But Brent, you've got, what this chart really shows is you don't even need to go there. I mean, you're good. This is, this really indicates that you have a sweet spot after 2026, but you need to basically take this refinancing of about 1.7 million and say, I'll take my savings, but I don't want to take it over time. I want to take it right here. Give it all to me up front, and that way we can borrow these dollars, support our current or very close to our current INS rate, and not create this burden for the taxpayer. And of course, this assumes the entire need. I will say that there's many projects that we have had to use our CO monies for that generate $0 back, okay? The beauty of this investment is that it will help pay itself, as Scott says. It will help contribute to the functions of coastal parks, and it even has the opportunity, if we build correctly, potentially, to increase serious revenue from the concessionaire's contract. So this, to me, is very doable when I look at this bar graph over those 30 years or 20 years, whatever we make that decision to be. But I'm feeling very confident simply because of the rates being at an all-time historic low. And Commissioner Vaughn pointed that out to me earlier. It's as almost as if, there has to be some silver lining. The silver lining are the rates.
Well, and I think it's important to note too, Judge, this is an option, and probably the option that we really would least like to do, because we'd rather FEMA do what they're supposed to do and step up. But we're just trying to lay out all the options for the court so that the court can, and the public, so the court and the public can clearly know that we're committed to doing this, and there is a way to do this. Would we rather get the funds from FEMA? Yes. Are we gonna fight like, to get the fights from FEMA? Yes. Are we gonna go look at CBDG funds? Are we gonna look at the infrastructure bank?
Absolutely.
We're gonna look at every stinking thing we can.
Even private donations.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yep.
we're gonna go to the port. I think there's I just sent you some information. I think maybe we can use maybe some other funds. So I think we're looking at every rock, nook, and cranny to get this done. But this, to me, is very encouraging because of the rates where they are and of the potential savings and exactly what you're talking about, and that we can elongate it out over 30 years. And maybe by then, maybe we'll get the FEMA reimbursement and we can pay those bonds off.
And if the audience wants to know what you can do to help, the President of the United States of America is the last, the buck stops with him. So either this administration or the next has the ability to declare a federal disaster. So you can use your voice to encourage Texas to be compensated in the way that we believe is just and equitable. I want you to know that our congressional delegation, including Congressman Cloud, has been very, very supportive of this, as well as the congressional delegation from all of South Texas. So anyway, just kind of food for thought there. But make no mistake, it is a decision, and prioritization is part of life. When you think about our meeting on Wednesday, we talked about a building that was really essentially the same amount. It's a medical facility. It's got about a $20 million price tag. This is another type of facility. It has a $20 million price tag, right? And together they make up part of the prioritization of our county. So when we went to the bond agencies, and Noe will remember this, and when we got interviewed by Moody's, we had this conversation. We didn't have $40 million worth of work. We had over $100 million worth of work. And it's always been contemplated that over time, over the next 5 years, we would have another borrowing because we needed to make sure we made these capital investments. The fact that it happens to be now an ME office and now Bob Hall Pier are just part of the decisions that you have to make as to what's important to your community. And it's fascinating to me that they're almost about the same amount of dollars. So when we talk about spending, everything costs a lot of money. Commissioner Vaughn, one thing you said, and I got to make sure that we haven't included because I want to be super complete. What's not in here is design. So I'm not sure, Sydney, if that 13 million includes design or not. Does it? It does. Okay, I just want to make sure because I think you had asked me and I wasn't sure. So,
I think, Judge, the CIP
Yes.
we presented to the rate agencies in 19 totaled over $151 million.
right.
But we agreed then that you would do it over a period of 5 years.
Correct.
Every other year, only if the circumstances permitted.
Correct.
And that's where you are today.
Correct.
So-
And as I said, these are just choices, right? In other words, 150 million. Oh, and by the way, the CIP will get updated, commissioners, so that as we get real-time data like this, your document is a living document. And so the engineers will be able to take what Jacobs has done and ingest it so that your CIP is now reflective of what it is in 2021. Noe, that was very helpful to me. I'm going to make sure there's no questions from our commissioners for you. And then, Commissioner Chesney, I think maybe we should have a little more discussion, but there is an agenda item. Is there any questions you have for Noe, Commissioner?
Very clear.
Commissioner Vaughn has a question.
No, what'd you say the interest rate was?
I didn't say the interest rate, but good
That's what I
question,
thought.
Commissioner Vaughn, as usual. The rate we've been using is a 263 over 20 years.
2.63.
And,
And it's a lower rate than that today.
well, and my biggest concern is always raising taxes. I don't want to do that. And it looks to me like we would not have to do that, I don't think. But if we continue to wait, government is so slow. We can't wait on FEMA. We can't wait on the CDBG funds. We can't do any of that. I think we have to, whatever we do, we have to get busy and move forward. I see the worth of the Michael Mays. I see that, no doubt. I mean, it's going to bring money back in. My most important thing is that pier, because that's what people use. You have a lot of people that go to your restaurant, but you have a lot of people that go to the pier. So for me, whatever we do, I want everything included, because we're not going to get a rate like this again.
That's
I just
right.
don't believe it. And the longer we wait, the possibility of the rate going up is going to happen. So I think that the parking lot, the fishing amenities, I thought was important. I don't know what that consists of, but that's important because that's what they go out there for. You know, I have a grandson, that's his passion. So, I mean, 50 years down the road, 75, I want that pier to stand. And I think with the technology now, we can make one that can do that. And so this may be one of the last things I get to vote on, but I'm really proud to get to vote on this. And I don't like to spend money.
And the other thing is, Commissioner, I know you offered, and I really do appreciate it, to stay active and involved. You know, there's this myth that the beach is used by just the people that live close to the beach. In your precinct, they love Padre Island and Padre Bayou Park, and so I think that your willingness to be involved with the Bob Hall Pier Committee is very appreciated by me. And I didn't get a chance to tell you that, Commissioner Chesney, but I think it's exciting because it brings in, you know, when people see that it belongs to all of us and we're all this big, it just makes it feel good. What else can we discuss that you believe needs to be on the forefront for today's workshop?
Judge, I think the workshop's good. I think we
Okay.
need to move forward to the agenda item and.
I think
and
we
let's
can
get the wheel of the
close. I
court and
just
see
want to
where we
give
are.
Commissioner Maras a chance. Commissioner Maras, anything that we can address here before we move into regular agenda?
No, Judge, I'm good. I mean, I support, moving forward, and I agree with the rest of the court that we need to bring this back and find the financing to do it. Smart financing, and it does benefit the entire county. I mean, people in Precinct 3 love and use it. We get out there as much as possible during the summer, and so definitely I'm on board with this.
Thank you.
Also, Your Honor, I just wanted to
Yes,
comment
Dan.
on what Noe is saying. We do have a strong fund balance in our debt service fund of over $4 million. With the current rate we have, with the premiums and the requirements we have this year, we expect our debt service to go up because I think our taxes are going to exceed our requirements because of the way the new tax bills are required to do. So I believe we have the funds available to maintain our rate, if possibly even lower it.
Awesome. One thing I want to do before we go to the agenda item, and I don't know, but I was given a note that before I close I'd like to reopen public comment. There was a gentleman who represented an association at the state level. I don't know, Deputy, if he stayed outside or was he on the line? He's on the line.
Is that Glenn? That would be Glenn Meir,
Okay,
if I pronounced his name correctly.
So what I'm going to do is close our workshop, okay, and reopen public comment for this one limited purpose, and then we'll go straight into our regular agenda.
Judge, thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Likewise, Noe.
Thanks, Noe.
Go ahead, Mr. Meir.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Glenn Meir. I'm actually the next president of the Coastal Bend Restaurant Association, our chapter here from the Texas Restaurant Association. And I wanted to speak in behalf of May because I also, she's now on the board with us here, and I'm a restaurant owner on Padre Island. I own the Black Sheep Bistro and the Angry Marlin Restaurant. So I have a perspective, and I thought I would share that with you on how the pier helps not only all the other restaurants, because we are a synergy, we do create obviously tax revenue, and people come to come to Padre Island, and they come to Corpus Christi, specifically Padre Island, because of not only the beach, but the pier. And so it does bring people here. And I can, personally say I see it every year. It's a big part of our revenue, a big part of our attraction. It's something that's necessary for our community, but, bigger yet, it helps us survive in the industry. And the Coastal Bend Restaurant Association, we have on the agenda some things that we would like to do to help support her in the next couple of years while she waits for hopefully this pier to be rebuilt. And so, I just wanted to put my input in, and if you guys had any questions about how I think that affects our restaurants here on the island and Corpus Christi, I can tell you, it when the pier was gone, it affected us in a negative way as a group. Not that COVID didn't put a bigger bite on it, but it was definitely, we felt it.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. So with that, I'm going to close public comment at this time, Tyner, and recognize that we have concluded our workshop. And I'd like to move to our regular agenda item. It's 2A1, and of course, it is discuss and consider our course of action on Bob Hall Pier. It has a lot of includings, language, design concepts, construction methods, demolition, reconstruction, refurbishment methods, scope of project, financing options, timelines, submission of grants, other financing options. It's 2 phases, Commissioner. The second phase is discuss and consider the selection of Jacobs Engineering for such design and construction concepts and related matters. And I believe that they have proven themselves to not only possess the qualifications and the experience, but also, quite frankly, stand ready and willing to serve in this capacity. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion that no matter what we decide about financing, we cannot get to where we want to be without design. And we cannot get to where we need to design without the public's input and these concepts being developed. And if we want to see 2022, the summer of 2022, it's going to be like the summer of '69, May. Summer of 2022 is going to be our summer, and we need to talk about it. And I, by the way, name every project I ever do, whether it's in law or people don't know this, but even here, every one of my initiatives has a project name. And I usually tell nobody because it's just fun for me to think about it. But I am already dubbing this Project Icon because this is our icon and it will resonate with people all over the globe. And you're right, from the pier of Santa Monica to Coney Island, and everybody in between. We're part of that legacy of piers.
Judge, could I possibly maybe just ask you?
Yeah.
Because I was going to make it all in one motion, to be honest.
It has to be in 2, because we need to designate Jacobs first, Commissioner.
That's fine. I'll second your motion.
Only because I've checked it
that's
with
fine.
Laura on this.
You're good.
Okay, let's just do that piece, and
then
you get to do.
I'll make the other motion.
All right,
That's fine.
discuss and consider the selection of Jacobs Engineering
I
for
second
design and construction concepts. I also want to add, and I need to maybe triple check this, that there is a Sydney, the public piece of it. Do I need to say something about that? What am I gonna, because I want the clerk to record it. Are we gonna call that something particular? That public concept or?
Public participation, right.
You will handle that as well?
Yes, we will.
Okay, so my motion then, Commissioners, is to select Jacobs Engineering for design and construction concepts, including but not limited to the public participation piece of it and other related matters.
And
Do I have a
Judge, I would second that motion. I just want to make sure too that included in that motion is, and that we're making sure we're following all the FEMA guidelines for reimbursement involved in all this, so that we don't, even though I don't know that we're going to get any, we don't want to knock ourselves out by doing it wrong. So that would just be my addition, and I would second that if that's okay with you.
Okay, I had Michael in the room here. Here he is from procurement, and I've got Laura as well. From an RFQ, from a professional selection purposes, I believe I've met all the qualifications, but I will vet it with Haggerty as well. Michael, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
Yeah, I would strongly recommend that we vet this with Haggerty, because typically whenever we're trying to remain eligible for FEMA funds, the first step, if we're gonna hire an engineer to design something for us, we have to hire them through an RFQ process.
Right. Okay, so what I'd like to do is, I'm going to do a subject to, okay? I'm going to, and because they already have a standing contract with us right now under that emergency piece, we might be, I mean, I think Haggerty's a well, but I think you have good advice. So my motion is subject to the confirmation with the county attorney regarding the method of selection. And if they need to do an RFQ, I know that they'll be happy to do so.
Right.
Okay?
Second.
Second. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Post same sign.
Judge, I'd like to make the second motion to.
Yes, of course.
To demolish and rebuild the current Bob Hall Pier and concession stand, and to pursue all federal funds and any other potential funding sources, including certificate of obligations by the county.
That's a motion and a second. Will you also clarify it includes, are you including the parking lot, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the parking lot and the fishing amenities?
I consider that part
All
of
of
the
it,
pier,
okay.
so yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna call it the comprehensive, yeah.
That'll work.
Okay.
And grants, correct?
Anything, all funding sources.
And
that's
all
what I-
funding sources. And I've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Yes, sir.
So this just includes the concession?
Yes,
Does
sir.
this include Michael Mays et al., or no?
The observation doesn't need to be.
We don't need
but-
anything,
but-
right?
But
Okay.
the concession, Michael Mays.
Right.
Uses the concession and the observation. The
Okay.
observation is fine. The concession needs to be rebuilt.
Okay.
Portion.
But, and I think, but the idea is that in the concept, that, in other words, in this conceptual design phase, right, we will have the opportunity to vet whether or not we can do one comprehensive entity.
Yeah, and I think that was in your first motion when you
Yeah.
said Jacobs.
Is that
would do
okay?
The
Yeah.
public input portion. Absolutely. I think that's what we talked about at the beginning. and
Okay.
We'll give more detail to the community as we go through this ad hoc committee and all this
Great.
input. We're gonna have
Awesome.
tons of opportunity for public input on this
Right.
because it's the community's pier. It's not our pier. We really want Coastal Parks Board involved. We want the community involved. We want
Yeah.
this court involved. We
Right.
want this to be a wide open, transparent process, but not to the point of slowing it down. We want to go build it.
Right. So motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Can I ask a question?
Yes.
It was discussed in Commissioners Court on Wednesday that the original motion for this was to do debris removal.
Correct.
Yes. Well, you can hold off a second because I need to make sure I know which one for you to pass out, because there were two ways this could have gone. Originally, we were going to do marine debris removal by itself, and then we were going to consider demolition as a separate action. And that was on the advice of some previous conversations that we had with one of the engineers. I believe it was from West Janney maybe that gave us that advice. I can't remember who it was. But so I just need to know, do we want to include demolition in this one scope of work? And I can set it up so that we have a base bid for the marine debris removal and an additive bid number one for the demolition. That way, if the cost comes in, sticker shock, and we still want to do the marine debris removal, we can still do that.
Yes, sir.
I think
I'll
that's
make-
absolutely the best way, and I think it needs to be impressed upon these contractors that the reason we're doing this is we hope to give you both because.
So we can get the economy of scale.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because if there is not an economy of scale by doing this together, then someone is not doing this right.
Right, and
I
so
mean, there has to
the
be.
version that should be, that Tyner should have passed around to you is the one I rewrote this morning that has both on it
Yeah.
for y'all to sign. Thank you.
And I know this is going to sound crazy, but in the effort of thinking about all revenue sources, I'm going to ask the county attorney or Tyner to check into the fact of maybe we can auction pieces of Bob Hall Pier. I personally would love to own a piece of history. And so there's got to be things that we can do there as well. But
We'll give you a big slab, Judge. You can
I'm ready to build a surfboard out of
What
it.
you do that with.
Okay, but the idea here is that, Michael, you have your marching orders, and you'll recall that the court gave you this ability on Wednesday to take such action.
That's correct. The court gave me both options on
Correct.
Wednesday, contingent on the discussions that
And-
were had
and
today,
now
so
you-
there's no further action needed by the
Right.
court.
And the only thing I'm going to kind of at least begin the direction of, with Tyner and you, is to get with Haggerty very quickly so that we can know whether we have to do a more of a formal process, Sydney, and do an RFQ, which I know you'll be fine with. But the idea is that we now have a direction.
Yes, I believe the formal process will kick in more on the reconstruction phase.
Right. And I don't mean to sound negative, but the FEMA is very, very, very difficult. It's a hard climb. I want you to know that we are doing everything, including, working with the administration that's with us until January 20. And I'm already working on the next administration. I will not give up until it's like, no, no, no. But I just want you to know we need to be moving on with these other financing options so that we have a stopgap, so we understand how to make this a reality. So this court has spoken, and it is going to be to build it bigger, better, stronger. There are no other items, but the agenda item was very broad. Is there anything else that needs to be taken up at this time within item number A1, Commissioners?
Can I say something? It's me, Scott.
I was like, who's talking to me? Scott, yes.
Sydney, we probably ought to start looking at the core permitting process because we only had that 2-year emergency waiver under the core
Good point.
to, not have to go get a permit. But if we start changing the footprint that's there, we have a small leeway of, regarding length and moving it north, south, whatever we got to do. And that includes up to onto the beach because it's all up to the mean high tide line. So the core permitting process, as you know, sometimes can be extremely lengthy. So it's best that we start keying in on that now. And once he gets a kind of a design footprint, then we can have a jam with him. You go sit down with him, but until we know what that is, we just don't know.
Right.
But anyhow, just wanted to bring that up.
That's great. And the only thing I wanted to say is thank you to everybody for allowing us to have this important special meeting after Wednesday's meeting. I think it's important. You can see what Commissioner Chesney meant when he said, when you want to focus on something and give it the importance that it deserves, it needs to have this kind of time dedicated to it. So with that, I would ask if there are any adjournments in memory of from Commissioner Chesney at this time? Adjournments in
I
memory?
did, but I did not.
You want to hold the thought? Hold on,
Yeah,
Commissioner Modis?
Yes, hold on.
I don't have one, but I'd just like to share a comment about Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes,
I
please.
mean, I was on virtually, so it's kind of hard to.
It is.
It is hard to communicate, but it's been an honor to serve with you. You're a woman who believes in what she believes in and always stood for it, never wavered, and I think we need more of that in our elected officials today from both sides. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to turn it into partisan, but I've always had respect of you. There's been times I haven't agreed with you, but that's okay. We've been able to work together and be able to do what's best for the community in our shared areas of interest that we have, and especially in the northwest part of the county. But you've always been a professional. You've always done your homework, and have always had the people of Nueces County in mind when you vote, and always the taxpayers in mind. And so every time that I've served with colleagues on different boards and committees, and sad to see either I'm leaving or they're leaving, but just to let you know that a little part of you has rubbed off on me to always be aware and always, just fight for the community, fight for the neighborhoods and for the people, and always, we know government costs, but always try to hold off for the best value possible. And so I just want to thank you for all your work you've done for Nueces County. Like I said, you will be missed, and I know that you will continue to serve the community in various ways, and I'm glad for that. We're much better off for that. So thank you for everything you've done for us and for being a friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. I feel the same way. And you guys were great, and you were so easy to work with. And we might have disagreed a few times, but we never let it go past this room. And I mean, that made for a great commission court. It really did. I'm going to miss everybody. Thank you.
Judge, I do have one. I'm sorry. I
Yes,
forgot.
of course.
Thank you. Margie Long. Margie passed away this Monday, December 14th, at the age of 76. She's survived by the love of her life, Tom Long, her 5 children, of which Kyle Long, some of you may know here in town, is a friend of mine, and his wife Molly. And she was a wonderful lady, and she always knew how to make you feel better if you were having a bad day. So wanted to certainly express our condolences to the Long family for the loss of Margie Long. Thank you.
Thank you. I also have one today, although the passing of this person's death occurred 4 years ago. In fact, 4 years ago today is the anniversary of May Nardone's father, her beloved father, Benny Mendoza Jr. And so I'd like to adjourn in his memory today. And while I did not know him, one only has to know May to know how wonderful he must have been. Commissioners, it's been an honor this year to serve with you in 2020. I'm not going to pretend that 2021 isn't something I'm really, really, really looking forward to. But just this morning, we were cataloging in our minds and reflecting in our emergency management group that we do every Friday morning at 8, how many victories we've had for our community. And it's just so strange to say we've done so well coming together to fight COVID-19. And it hurts so much to have lost over 500 people in our community. I just don't know if we'll ever really get over that. I know I personally feel traumatized by it. And so our fight and our struggle continues. I would ask that all of you continue to hold the line and make sure that their memories are honored by practicing what we preach as electeds and as good community stewards and just people who love one another. So enjoy your well-deserved holiday. To all the employees and staff of Nueces County, we look forward to seeing you back in 2021 on January the 6th, which will be our first meeting of the year. I personally will look forward to our swearing-in ceremony at the first of the year. And if there is any business that the court needs to take up, Commissioner Chesney may have been kidding, but I'm not. We will be on duty. We will always answer the call. And if we must gather again for the best interest of the county, rest assured that I know that Connie and Dale and Tyner and the clerk's office, we will all be here together to serve. Thank you and happy holidays. We are officially adjourned at 1:28 p.m.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy
Merry
New Year to
Christmas.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.